Heaven's Journey to Life. Day 6. How did we create relationships of positivity, neutrality, and negativity? Here we're going deeper into the relationships within ourselves and towards this physical existence, looking at the question of why we as human beings have not been able to change our relationships towards each other, and what is this physical existence as Earth, the animal kingdom, nature, and other human beings within a starting point where all life in this physical existence is regarded as equal and as one. Why we as human beings have throughout time accepted and allowed our relationships towards ourselves, others, and this physical existence to continue in conflict, abuse, compromise, and separation, to where we are now as humanity in accepting and allowing a world system of money that stands within the nature of conflict, abuse, and compromise to the very lives of individuals, manifestations in as this physical existence. How have we as human beings come to accept and allow a life in this world where we're living in constant fear, protection, defense, taking as much as we can to just survive and secure a life in this world, separating, isolating ourselves more and more from ourselves, each other, and this physical existence, instead of establishing, finding solutions, and giving to this world, humanity, this physical existence, a life of certainty and security, and a definitive future where all live, exist together on this earth in equality and oneness. What is it within ourselves and within our lives that's been preoccupying and separating us from seeing, realizing, and understanding how we're all in fact responsible for and constantly, continuously perpetuating the internal and external abuse, compromise, conflict, friction in ourselves and this world as ourselves, with not considering the solution as ourselves within the context and starting point of equality and oneness, as seeing, realizing, and understanding that we're only going to change ourselves, this world, if we stand up and stand together and change, transform the nature of the mind, consciousness, and the nature of the world system, money. Why? How have we missed the obvious problem in this world that is staring each human being straight in the eyes within ourselves as the mind consciousness system that has governed, controlled, directed, influenced, defined, determined our nature as human beings, that is and has been the cause, source, origin of our living in this physical existence through the human physical body, and that if we don't stand up together, first starting with ourselves and in fact change our nature and thus living in and as and through the human physical body, we won't change ourselves, this world, because this world exists as it does because of who we are and how we live. Why have we not been able to see the extent of the problem of the mind of and as the human being that has been the cause, source, origin of and as all the problems, consequences we face within ourselves, our relationships towards everything, everyone in this existence, but have instead lied in the illusion of hope, belief for a miracle, savior, rescuer, when we've been our own solution, in fact, waiting, looking for ourselves. And within this, not taking into consideration the actual process that it will take to in fact re-educate the mind consciousness as the human being to be able to change our nature as the mind consciousness, to correct, change, transform ourselves, our living, and so our experience on this earth together. I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to create me into a being that deliberately seek out friction as conflict, as the action of separation toward all parts of me within and as this existence, as I deliberately created my relationships to and towards all parts of me in separation, from and of me, from me to continue, for me to continue existing, surviving, as energy through creating experiences of this friction conflict, where these experiences have been measured within the definition of positive, negative, good, bad. And so I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed all my relationship experiences to be defined within as the categories of either positive, negative, neutral, all of which originate from the starting point of experience, as I experience positivity, negativity, neutrality, when in as substance, as equality and oneness. My standing with all as me is not based within experience or categorized within positivity, neutrality, negativity, because I, in fact, am all as me in equality and oneness, which is not an experience, it's a living beingness standing. In this, I have accepted and allowed myself to create, manifest my relationship lines within as energy, as experience, two towards all as me, as either positive, negative, neutral, equal to and one with the world system as money's relationship, two towards humanity, categorized within experiences as living physical experiences of human beings with the positive as those with the most money, more than they require, neutral as those of humanity that live comfortably with money, that have enough, and negative as those of humanity with little to no money at all. I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to categorize, separate my relationships with as all of existence as me, within myself even further, from initially only friction that I created due to my acceptance and allowance of perceiving myself as only one individual within as existence, and approached existence from this accepted and allowed starting point of separation. And in that, having the audacity to initiate my own relationships, experiences, towards all that, in fact, was already me within as the equality and oneness of as substance. And from the friction, further separated me from of all that exists as me, with defining the nature of my relationships within categories of experiences as positive, neutral, negative. In this, I forgive myself that I have accepted and allowed myself to believe that I own my experiences as energy, as I created, manifested them from within as of me. And in that ownership, my relationship to energy as experience became wanting to get and get and get and take and take and take and gain and gain and gain more and more and more energy as experience. Because for me to continue existing, surviving as energy, I had to continue creating energy through experience as relationships of separation, defined within the natures of positive, neutral, negative, equal to and one with how I have accepted and allowed myself to create and manifest the world system of money, where the relationship of all of humanity in relation to the world system of money as the mind of energy has been to get and get and get and take and take and take and gain and gain and gain more and more and more energy as money, to own that which it believes it created as itself. And so the world system of money as the mind of energy will establish its relationships of positive, neutral, negative, as positive as those with the most money, more than they require, neutral as those of humanity that live comfortably with money, that have enough, and negative as those of humanity with little to no money at all, as a consequence of the process of surviving just to exist, continue existing as the world system of money. I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed myself to create relationships within categories of positive, neutral, negative experiences, to deliberately generate energy for myself and my continued existence, survival, as the experiences as energy I have accepted and allowed myself to be, become, or come to believe to be who I am, where I use all three contexts of energy generation through experiences of positive, neutral, negative, to certify my existence of me as energy experience. And so I forgive myself for accepting and allowing the continuation of such relationships of positivity, neutrality, negativity throughout my existence without change. Because when, as I would change such relationships, I have come to believe that who I am will cease to exist, not realizing, seeing, understanding that the illusion of me as energy will cease to exist. But who I am as substance, equality, and oneness remains, is here, and always has been here. But I have separated myself from me as substance, equality, and oneness to such an extent that I have come to believe that all I am is energy experience, and so continued existing as this belief and continued my relationship of positivity, neutrality, negativity towards all that is me to ensure my continued survival as the energy experience I've accepted and allowed myself to become. And so I forgive myself that I've, throughout my existence, deliberately refused to change the illusion of myself, and thus why and how my relationships throughout my existence remained within the nature of experiences of positivity, neutrality, negativity, equal to and one with how we as individual human beings are deliberately not wanting to change, refuse to change, as we have come to believe that the mind of and as energy is who we are. And so we continued throughout our existence in this physical existence to perpetuate separation of relationships towards all that is ourselves within the categories of positivity, neutrality, negativity, not realizing, seeing, understanding how the physical as the substance of as this existence has always been here as ourselves, as the answer to our equality and oneness. Being, becoming, standing equal to and one with this physical existence, and so all our relationships, to stand within actual consideration, regard of all as self. Within this, I forgive myself for accepting and allowing myself to accept and allow a world system of as money that perpetuate and continue its relationship towards all of humanity as me, that categorize the living physical experience lives of individual human beings, the earth, the animal kingdom, nature, all that is physical, to walk within the consequences of the relationships of positivity, neutrality, negativity, as positive as those with the most money, more than they require, neutral as those of humanity that live comfortably with money, that have enough, and negative as those of humanity with little to no money at all, as the consequence of the process of survival, just to exist, continue existing as the world system of money. That I've accepted and allowed, directly and indirectly, such a system within this world that govern, direct, control all lives within and on this earth and physical existence, because I deliberately refuse to change me, the nature of me, the belief of me as the illusion of me as energy and experience. And because I deliberately refuse to change and only regard my own survival as ownership of energy mind, which I get through experiences that I generate within my relationships towards all as me, within as the categories of positivity, neutrality, negativity, I have refused to stand up and change this world system of money as me. And in this, am responsible for the consequences such relationships have created, manifested in my existence as this entire existence as me. I forgive myself that I haven't accepted and allowed myself to see, realize, and understand how my accepted and allowed existence as an illusion of an as energy within as all my relationship lines of experiences have manifested me into an existing condition where myself and my existence had become conditioned by through experiences of as energy. And as I continued existing within that state of illusion, within the physical existence of reality, I had not and could not see the direct consequences my continued participation within as energy, as experiences, as relationships of positivity, neutrality, negativity. But now I directly face the consequences of my creation of me within myself as what this physical experience as my without has become. as each one and all together still exist as and live out these relationships of positivity, neutrality, negativity within themselves as the mind towards all that exists, and how we individually and together, directly and indirectly, created, manifested this world system of money that place manifest all of existence within as the relationships of positivity, neutrality, negativity for humans, for animals, for the earth, for nature, and all other living beings, manifestations, expressions of as this physical existence as me. I forgive myself that I've accepted and allowed my relationships towards all that is me exist within as the categories of positivity, neutrality, negativity that's created, manifested the substance reality of me into and as what I accepted and allowed myself to become, exist as, within and as it, not seeing, realizing, understanding how my creation reality as the substance physicality has been showing, revealing, exposing the nature of me as what I have become. But I've become so separated into illusion that I have not seen the reality. I commit myself to assisting and supporting myself to release myself from the illusion of energy experiences as consciousness, relationships to see, face, expose the reality of what I have created, to from within the reality of what I have accepted and allowed myself to create, stand up and change, to live, walk in the equality and oneness of as substance, as me, as this physical existence. I commit myself to, through writing and self-forgiveness, assist and support myself to walking the process of no more accepting and allowing myself to accept, allow relationships of separation, inequality that has manifested within the nature of experience as energy, manifested as positivity, negativity, neutrality, so that I can assist and support myself into and as self-equality and oneness within, and equality and oneness without, as me returning me to myself as all, and within this process, gift myself with the responsibility, power to in fact change, stop, transform the consequences I have accepted and allowed myself to create throughout existence, because I have not been here with me in equality and oneness. I commit myself to change, to stop the deliberate acceptance and allowance of relationships of energy as experience, as positivity, neutrality, negativity, and transform my relationships with myself as all into and as equality and oneness through writing, self-forgiveness, self-corrective application as the process I walk with me as all within self-honesty, because I have to be self-honest as the action of making the decision to see and to realize what I have done and become. And in that seeing realization, no more hide, suppress, cower away, but stand up and face me in the seeing realization. And in that standing and facing through writing, self-forgiveness, I can finally stop, change, transform the consequences of me towards all into and life as me for all. I commit myself to, through writing and self-forgiveness, assist and support myself to face the illusion of me as the mind consciousness of energy, investigating the nature of my relationships with myself and others within the context of positivity, neutrality, negativity, as how I have come to define my relationships in separation from of me, and forgive myself as releasing myself and taking responsibility for my relationship creation as me. And in my practical corrective application, redefine my relationships within practical equality and oneness as how I will approach my relationships within considering regarding others as me. I commit myself to, as I walk within and as this world system of money as me, investigate the nature of the functioning of this world system of money within the context of how it is creating relationships of positivity, negativity, neutrality, towards all of humanity as me, and establish solutions to all the parts of the world system functioning and aligning it so that it has an equal and one relationship with all within and as this physical existence. See the Equal Money System website, where individuals are in the process of walking this realignment of the world system of money into and as equality and oneness for all on this earth.